It's Rik Emmett and the Greasy Chicken Fan Story. Oh, it's a good story on Rock History Music. Lay It on the Line is the new autobiography by Rik Emmett. It's available now. Links at the very top of the description. What do you do if you're with your family, you're in a grocery store, and you run into a fan that looks at you and says, "Oh my God, you're Rik Emmett"? To which I guess he has to say, "Well, yeah, that's me." There's a lot to this story. It explains, I think, what a lot of rock stars have to go through, sometimes when they're in the produce section of a grocery store. But it's pretty funny. Rik Emmett on Rock History Music.
How about the
That's
chicken
gross,
story?
but it's also pretty, that's the first time I've ever heard of that one.
Yeah. Well, everyone loves that one. And then I know you like the Moody Blues, but Justin Hayward just was on a plane, and the guy's looking at him. This has got like a zillion hits. The guy's looking at him and says, "What do I know you from?" He said, "Well, I don't know," because you could see it coming. You've probably seen that. I said, "No, come on. I know. I know you from something." And then finally, after 3 or 4 times, Justin tells him, he's, "Well, I do a show on the BBC, and you might have, I'm also in a band called the Moody Blues." And he stops and thinks, and he goes, "No, that's not it."
Yeah, I've had that one. I've had that one a couple of times.
"No, you're not him."
Yeah, I know. I go, "Well, I'm Rik Emmett from Triumph." He goes, No, that's not it. You go, "That's not it? That's not it? Okay. See you, buddy."
Okay, what about the one last one about that? The you're in the supermarket, everyone's too busy to cook that night.
Yeah, it's the Greasy Chicken Story. Yeah. So my wife and I, it's been a long day. It's a Friday, I think, Friday night, and we're both tired. It's been a long week. And, and when I had 4 kids, so at a certain point in our lives, when we would go grocery shopping, you had to have 2 carts because they would be bringing their friends and their girlfriends and their boyfriends. And, our house was like Grand Central Station sometimes for everybody, which I didn't mind. I liked that. I liked that the party was going to come to our house. That gave us a modicum of control over what might happen, anyhow. So, yeah, so we're there, and we get to the checkout, and my wife turns to me and she goes, "I don't want to cook." And I go, "Me neither." She goes, "Go over to the barbecue chicken counter and get one of the barbecue chickens and the sliced potato things, and that's what we'll do." I go, "Okay, fine, great." So I go over, but it's sold out. They've only got one left, and when the guy hands it to me, the lid is cracked. So I'm trying to be careful, and he puts it into the bag and stuff, but it's leaking, and now it's getting, as I'm walking away, it's getting all over my hands, and I'm really, I've got chicken grease all over. Just then, the guy comes down and out the end gable of the aisle, and he goes, "Oh my God! Oh my God! You're Rik Emmett. You're Rik Emmett." I'm going, "Yes, I am." He's going, "Oh my God, what are you doing here, man?" I go, "Well, clearly I'm shopping, grocery shopping." He's going, "Oh my God, oh me, I saw your band in blah 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 blah, and I loved you, and I bought this record, and I had, and I gave a copy of it to my friend Jimmy, and Jimmy once said, oh, here's the story." I'm standing there, and the chicken is, getting all over my hands, and he doesn't really pick up on the fact that I'm finding this, frustrating, and I want to get out of this. He doesn't pick up on that vibe at all. And then in the end, he goes, okay, listen, I don't want an autograph or nothing. I don't need that. Can I just shake your hand? I go, "Yes, you can." So it's like, the chicken grease goes all over his hand, and then he's looking at his hand like, "What the fuck?" And I'm going, "See ya." And I go, and so then I get over to the checkout, and and I put the chicken down, and my wife looks at me, she goes, "What is that?" Because the bag is, it's got grease. I go, "Honey, the thing is cracked. There's nothing I can do." And she goes, "Where have you been?" I go, "Well, I've been playing rock star."
That's one of my favorites in the whole book. One of the things I loved about the book is you name the teachers. You tell me something about them, and you name them. You haven't forgotten them.
No, and credit really does need to go where credit is due. If here I am finally at the age of 70, I've written a book and I've put it out. And I had teachers back when I was in grade 9. I had a teacher say, maybe someday I think you're going to be a writer, although, I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, and I remembered something. When I was in Sunday school, when I was 12 years old or 13, there was a woman named Margaret Alsop. And she said to me, I think you're going to be a minister someday. Because I was the president of my Bible class, and I really did have a good solid understanding of the Bible, and I could quote scripture, and my mom had been a very strong, religious right up until her passing. She remained religious, and she and I had a pretty big falling out when I was 12, 13 years old, but credit goes where credit's due. There were folks along the path where you go, oh yeah. And this is the thing about writing a memoir too, John. I mean, I recommend it for everybody, really. I think everybody should have to do it later in their life, because when you're forced to sort of go back and remember these things, you start to realize, so my life was on a path, and then that moment was one where I sort of hit a brick wall and went left, and then I fell off a cliff, and then this happened. And those moments, those hit the wall, drop off the cliff, have a teacher that gives you a sense of yourself on a creative level that you've never really understood before. Those kinds of moments, you realize, oh, those were the ones that changed my life, more than, I don't know, getting a plexiglass trophy for being the best guitar player. You go, oh, thanks very much, but this isn't really changing my life. But, when I was 17 years old playing football, and some guy from Danforth Tech ran into me and tore my ACL, it was like he was changing my life. He was changing the direction of my world, and I would have named him if I knew who he was, but I don't. But yeah, so I wanted to, because teachers also, I think, they have a huge, I really do believe that if you're going to be a well-adjusted person, if you don't get enough love, if you don't get enough kind of affection, enough positive reinforcement, somebody kind of patting your back and giving you a little bit of a rub and saying, you know what, you're okay, you're special, you're good. If you don't get that at certain parts of your life, then you can really get screwed up. You can really end up having problems. And if you get sort of too much of it in one way, and there is this thing of, you're always seeking a kind of an approval. You want people to like you. You want to do something that someone will like and give you praise for. And, hey, mommy, watch me. Watch what I can do. A certain amount of it is perfectly healthy. But, like I saw a thing the other night of Taylor Swift, the movie that she made. And I'm not a Swiftie, but man, I'm a big fan. I think that woman is incredible. She's very, very talented. She really knows what she's doing. But she admits, oh man, I got this thing where I want to make people happy. I'm seeking everybody's approval all the time. And I go, oh yeah, Taylor, you and me, we're just like that. Yeah. So, I don't claim to be very healthy, but I have got a lot of people in my life. I've had them, and I still have them, who they help me be healthy. They give me the benefit of the doubt, and it allows me to fight the good fight another day.
Rik Emmett's autobiography, Lay It on the Line, is available now. There are links at the very top of the description where you can pick it up. Also, if you want to make a donation to the channel, there's a PayPal link, and you can join our Patreon and get early access to all our videos. Remember, like our videos, comment on them because we read all the comments. Subscribe to our channel, that always helps. Like the videos and share them on social media. This is John Bowden, more from Rik Emmett in the next 2-3 days on Rock History Music. Take care.